everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you'd like. We're going to be talking about former En Vogue singer Dawn Robinson. Dawn recently came out stating that she has been experiencing homelessness, unfortunately, and she's been living in her vehicle for the past 3 years. Now, when this information came out, there were fans, celebrities, former persons that were close to her reaching out to see what they could do and how to offer any type of assistance, because this is someone who many people love. And, quite naturally, no one wants to see her go, or any person really, but definitely don't want to see her go through this. So people have been reaching out. Now, doesn't seem like her situation has changed. We're going to go ahead and take a listen to a quick snippet on the Angeli Way Up podcast. And we're going to come back and just kind of dissect a few things here.
Reached out, like watching that or seeing that, or do you still speak to them?
Good question. I was shocked by that. But they probably know I'm tired of going back and forth to the group. Every single time I go back, we have deals on the table that make sense to me and would make sense to anybody else who has a brain in their head. I'm sorry. I got to just speak truthful. This is who I am. They pick the wrong deal every single time, and so they know that I'm not going to come back and deal with their shenanigans again. So they're probably like, Dawn's not going to come back. No.
Now, in the interview, Dawn kind of states, her perspective on things and where things went wrong in the relationship with her group members and management and label issues. And then with her first ex-husband, who reached out to her to offer her a job with his company or the company that he works for, what have you, just so that she can have some income coming in. Now, what I was able to gather from just that interview, and I could include, of course, things that we heard throughout the years about her, I guess you can call it antics or behavior or whatever the situation may be. But just going solely off of this interview, she's coming off as someone that can't see the forest for the trees, or someone who has so much pride that they're blocking their blessings, or someone who might have an inability to be humble, or just plain old silly and foolish, right? I mean, it's nice to be able to have things the way that you want to have them, or to feel like you're in a position to negotiate certain things. But sometimes in life, you're not in either one of those positions. Sometimes you kind of got to take what you can get. And I don't think she realized that's at the place that she's at currently. I understand her perspective, where she's saying that, well, I've gone back and forth to the group numerous times and they always take these bad deals. And it's like, are they really taking bad deals, Dawn? Because they're still working. Like, they still have income coming in. And yeah, they may not, En Vogue may not be the group that they could have. Well, I can't even say that. I was going to say they're not the group that they could have been. En Vogue was epic. En Vogue was like the Destiny's Child, or and I don't even know what groups are big, or what, I guess Pussycat Dolls, what was the group that was in Britain, the Spice Girls, or they had a few of, I always think Victoria Beckham as the leader, I don't know why. Anyway, so the Supremes, that's another major group. Most girl group break up, right? Here's the thing, Dawn. And she said she chose to be homeless. She was living with her mom. She kept saying her mom was angry, and she became, I guess, like just paraphrasing here, like the punching bag to her mother, and she had to leave. And I don't know what issues lie there, so I'm not going to speak to that. Everyone has different kind of familiar relationships, right? Like, people have problems in their family dynamics, whatever the case may be. And in her mind, if she's choosing peace or choosing to save her relationship with her mother, and the only way that she could do that is to leave her mother's home, I get it. But I also think that two things can be true. I think that could be the case. And I can think that if there's a problem everywhere you go, maybe you're the problem. And I always kind of, lately, I feel like I've been bashing women like, oh my goodness, you know. I like to hear some good news about good things happening with us. But it just is what it is. It just happens to be what's going on, you know. But I think that if you're the problem everywhere you go, if there's a problem everywhere you go, you're the problem. There was always a problem in Vogue, so she had to leave the group. There's problems in, of course, with management, with label. I know she was on a show in the mid 2000s called R&B Divas. I think it was R&B Divas LA, and it was problems there. And I'm not a medical health professional. I don't have any degrees in that field. I'm sure some of you do, and you'll leave notes in the comments. That'll be great. So I don't know what's going on with her, but it just seems like there's something going on with her. Does that make sense? Like, you don't know really what it is. It just kind of seems like something is off, because common sense to me would say, if I am experiencing a financial difficulty and here's an opportunity for me to make money, and a big opportunity, right? Like, because when you go on tour, yeah, it's gruesome, but those tours, you know, that's why artists go on tour. It generates a lot of cash for you, you know? I feel like I would jump on that opportunity, you know? She said her ex offered her a job. She said she hasn't heard anything about it in terms of he hasn't personally contacted her. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. That's what she said, going off of that. But she said she didn't want to work with her ex. She wouldn't work with her ex. And I don't know the nature of their relationship. I have no idea what went on in that marriage. But sometimes old people would say you have to crawl before you can walk. Like, sometimes you have to work your way out of the lion's den. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to swallow your pride and just deal with some crap, unfortunately to say, so that you can do better. There's no reason that, and I get her, I was going to say I can get her not wanting the other member, the newest member of En Vogue there while she's on, well, if they're going to do a tour together. But the reality is, even though the newest member wasn't there from the inception of En Vogue, she's been there longer. Dawn was in the group, yeah, from the beginning. Yeah, she's the voice. She's the one that we know. She's the face. But girlie, you were there 8 years. The newest member has been there 13. So it kind of feels like it's not about seniority. It's about dedication and commitment. And the newest member, can't even call her the newest member. She's been there 13 years, 13 to year 8. I feel like there's a way that they could work it out to where all of them could tour together, which would be a total of 5 members. We all automatically know and recognize, again, those who grew up listening to En Vogue, or even those who, you know, just kind of started learning, because everything, you know, is about coming back full circle. We all would recognize Dawn Robinson's voice. It was just signature. It was the tonality. It was perfect. It just was amazing. No one can take that away from you. So here you have this gift, this opportunity, but in your mind, it's like, well, my group is just full of shenanigans. Well, they don't make good decisions with, I guess, business dealings, and I'm not going to deal with it. And I would almost say, I guess you're just choosing to live in your car to to make yourself right. You would rather, what does it say? You would rather cut your nose off to spite your face. You know, shoot your own self in the foot. You know, don't be so gung-ho on having to be right or having to have your opinion to where you're keeping yourself down. You have to and this is just across the board in life. You're not going to be right about everything, no matter how much you think you are right. You have to be willing to be pliable and moldable and coachable and willing to let go of some things. That's for any type of relationship building. You have to be able to properly negotiate. There are going to be some things that you're not going to get, and there are going to be some things that you are going to get. And sometimes, I hate to say it, you even have to put your non-negotiables aside. Her non-negotiable is, well, if there is a tour option on the table for In Vogue, I want only the original members. That's her non-negotiable, and I get it, but you're not in the position to demand that, you know. No position to demand that. Everyone else has been touring. Everyone else has been doing fine, or fine-ish. I guess we can say. We don't hear a lot from them outside of the fact that they're still working. But it's kind of time to let that go. And that's just a message across the board. You have to learn how to let some things go. It's the old saying, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? And I don't know if she's happy sleeping in her car. She might be. Some people are in their mind, they are so right about everything. They could be drowning on the ship, you know? But in their mind, the ship is fine. It's like, it's nothing wrong with the ship. It's the water that's around the ship. It's like your ship is going down. I don't care how beautiful the ship looks. Your ship is going down, sweetie. You got to get off it. You know what I mean? Some people can, and I guess that's ego. Some people cannot let go of their ego, of their pride, of their sense of self-righteousness. Like in the Angela Yee's Way Up podcast, she says her group makes, pretty much, paraphrasing, they make bad decisions. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to make, good business deals. It's like, baby, so I have to walk away. Baby, but your group members are doing something right because they have a roof over their head. And not saying that every person that experiences a financial difficulty or go through hard times, or I don't wish that on anybody, you know what I mean? But sometimes you have to look in the mirror and say, it's me. It's me. I'm thinking everybody else is wrong, but it's really actually me. So I hope that I would personally love to see an In Vogue tour with Don Robinson. I would love to see it. I actually haven't even gone to see them because to me, it's her voice is what made the group, even though all of them can sing and their harmony is immaculate. It's perfection. But I would personally go see it In Vogue. I would, with all members. I would love it. With all 5 of them, even with the quote unquote new chick, I think there's room enough for everyone. And where there's money to be made legitimately, goobs and gobbles, I would, be going for it, but that's just my opinion. I think, it's old scripture, paraphrasing, it says something like, work in the day because when night comes, no man can worketh. And that can be literal or that can be figurative. Like when you're still young enough to go out and get as much as you can. Because when you get elderly, you're on the downslide, So I think she's 58, but still looks good. I'm sure the voice is still there, but if not, it's, maybe need a little bit of a tune up, have vocal lessons. Everyone does it, all professional. I think artists, they do go through vocal lessons and stuff like that because it's something that you have to keep tuned, just like athletes. Yeah, just because you're in the NFL or the NBA or a soccer player, you still have to work out. You do have to fine tune your equipment. So I hope that and at 58, that's what kind of like at 28, okay, yeah, you got a lot of pride. 38, you've seen some things. It's like, okay, 48, usually you're in rotation. You totally get it, for the most part. At 58, you should know better. You should know that you know better and put your own feelings aside and handle your business, But here's to wishing and hoping for her the best. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe.